Now we turn our attention back to our youngest competitors. We welcome back to the circuit IAME Mini, and it is time for race 8, heat 2 for the division. Let's take you through the starting grid. Louis Paternotte, who took the opening victory of the weekend, will start from pole position, and he'll be joined on the front road by the man that finished behind him on the road, Matteo Campobello. Matt Cooper will be looking to have a better run after what happened last time out in Heat 1. He starts on the inside of Road 2 alongside Harry Chapman. Axel Linders and Toby Tehal start on Road 3, with Bruce Gerino and Gilles Duval rounding out Row 4, completing the top 10 Arthur Jassogne and Matthias Cavulea. Bram Konings, Mathis Lambrecht, Kian ten Hav, Milan de Ruyt, Ziad Dudon, Lucas van der Heere, Artem Kikireshko and Victor Oliver Rizzo round out your top 18 drivers, with Maxime Ball and Martin Cekin-Gomis rounding out the top 20. Noah Kim, then Victor Radu, Musabera Akbaba, William Sitio and Lassivant Vader complete your 25-strong grid. The qualifying decided for all the classes with 3 heats. The one qualifying session would start and would determine the starting order for all 3 heats. Now, bearing in mind, our IAME Mini drivers made a complete pig's ear of the first start earlier on, but they've got to be a lot more on their A game this time around, just so at least we don't have lightning striking the same place twice, metaphorically speaking. So we'll be down to Paternotte and Campobello to set the pace on the rolling starts here at the home of champions. So if you are watching along on the Karting Champions League official YouTube channel, please put your comments in the chat. We'll give you a shout out and let us know who you're cheering on for this weekend at Karting Gate. We'd love to hear from you. As now once again the drivers being instructed to slow, and with the timer being set at 7 minutes plus an additional lap, the red lights are on the starting gantry once again. And now that looks a little bit neater and tidier. There are a couple of gaps, especially at the front end, I think, with Matt Cooper, I think, due to start on the inside of Harry Chapman, but Matt Cooper has not managed to get there in time. So there's going to be a gap alongside Harry Chapman, who will be all solo on Road 2. Into the tram lines, revs rise, and the lights do go out the first time of asking. It is the run down to turn number 1. Harry Chapman looking to dive to the inside, whereas Matteo Campobello throws the Hail Mary round the outside of Louis Paternotte and gets through, but runs deep into 2, gets the over-under done and gets his way through on the 837 at turn 3. Campobello had a big old head of steam and traction after going deep at turn 2. Harry Chapman is leading the free-for-all that's happening behind from 4th backwards. Now, bearing in mind, this is Harry Chapman's first event outside of the UK. And as I said earlier on, he normally runs on the IAME Water Swift. There's, dramas for the 884, I'm afraid. And that is going to be Arthur Jassogne, who rejoins after turn 6 off of the Europalan. Right, a little bit of a spinner. That was the 864 this time. Gilles Duval, who at the time was running 6th, nearly pirouetted backwards onto the muddy grass off to the outskirts of turn 10, but luckily kept his brakes in check. Meantime, Matteo Campobello, he got through on Louis Paternotte and he's built up a slight lead, nearly 7.5 tenths of a second. Toby Tehal runs 3rd ahead of Harry Chapman. Bram Konings in 5th position, with the likes of Axel Linders, Mathis Lambrecht, Milan de Ruyt, Matthias Cavulea, Artem Kikireshko, Bruce Gerino. They are all squabbling. And that is over 6th backwards. Biggest mover at the moment is Kikireshko with 7 places gained. Biggest loser. Oh, it's happened again. Lightning struck twice for Matt Cooper. This time he is still running, I hasten to add. As the 804, Milan Droitz nearly has Matthias Cavallea up his rear bumper, as it's going to be 3 wide coming out of turn 9, which instantly becomes a side-by-side, one of which I would imagine is probably going to be Matthias Cavallea. And, well, has just been thrown a bit of a curveball. And that would have been Bruce Chirino in the 875 that just got through. So, okay. Meantime, Louis Petronot is closing in on Matteo Campobello for the race lead. Fastest lap of the race, up 10 places, now runs 7th. The Ukraine's Artem Kikireshko in the 808 has just put in a 1 minute 18.179. And is ahead of Milan Droitz, who's up 6 spots. Bruce Chirino and Matthias Cavallea, they ran out your top 10. Big dramas for Lasse von der Vader in the 826 as well, it seems. So some drivers having more luck than others. They do say that, yes, preparation is key to getting everything right. The kart must be set up right. But there's always that little contingency of lady luck that comes into play. And at the moment, well, Louis Petronot in the last 2 sectors alone has just gained the best part of 0.3 of a second of Matteo Campobello's lead, which at one point was just under 0.58 of a second. We're about to cross the line, start lap number 4. And Petronot goes fastest of anybody. Gap now down to 3.5 tenths as, oh, Campobello loses the back end going deep into turn 1. And that just opened the door wide for Louis Petronot to get through. And I'm sure that Matteo Campobello will be thinking to himself, oh, what did I do there? And, well, it's gone from insult to injury for Matt Cooper in the 813. 5-second time penalty. Wrong starting position because he didn't manage to make it into P3 in time for the start. Harry Chapman is doing a very good job as Bram Konings has got Axel Leend. Well, who is that? That's Axel Leenders. And who was that just starting up the inside? Artem Kikireshko got the pair of them. But still, Bram Konings got back there, and then the Ukrainian dives to the inside here at turn number 10. And then with a big head of speed, Bram Konings returns the favour. And now there's another 2 or 3 just behind them. Milan Droitz, Bruce Chirino are there too. It's nearly 3 wide coming out of the final corner. And Artem Kikireshko is not giving up without a fight. And is going to dive to the inside of turn number 1, but he spins! Oh, shades of what happened 1 lap ago with Matteo Campobello. Artem Kikireshko was doing ever so well, had made up 12 places, and 1 wrong bit of surface water just spun the Ukrainian around and has dropped him unceremoniously outside of the top 10. Meantime, well, I have to say this, Toby Terhar has got Harry Chapman breathing all over his rear bumper and exhaust pipe at the moment, because the battle for P3 is really heating up. Petronot's got a 1.8 second lead over Matteo Campobello. And then it's a further 2.5 seconds back to Toby Terhar. Harry Chapman is right with the youngster from the Netherlands. And considering the fact that they didn't, Harry and his dad Mike didn't have any engines coming out here, so they rented some from the organisers. And Harry showcasing that he loves, wet weather conditions. And look at this. Toby Terha was so close to keeping that door wide open as they make their way down into turn number 5. Both take the same racing line, so go to the outside part of turn 5 to then hook it up as soon as they point the kart straight. Chapman unable to use the slipstream down the Europalan, but nevertheless, it's a great first couple of outings for the youngster from the United Kingdom. Timer now has hit 0, and next time around we will have one more lap to go as Chapman dives to the inside at turn 9. Terha has to use the outside curbing and mash the throttle to keep in front of him. Miranda Reutz and Bruce Chirino are closing in very quickly on these two, as this time around Louis Peternot from Eichmann's Grand Prix is about to see the last lap board for the second of 3 heats today. Final lap underway as the 837 has a 2.3 second lead. Terha and Chapman, I don't think it's decided quite yet because we have about 1.2 kilometres to go. But then you look at behind, you've got Bram Konings behind the likes of Milan de Ruyt, Bruce Chirino now up into 5th place. Axel Leenders is just behind them. But it is going to be an interesting dynamic between what happens with Fusion Benelux's Toby Terha and privateer driver Harry Chapman. Nice to see that the last 2 numbers on his kart match the back of the number on his race helmet as well, with the number 32. But it is coming down to the last few moments of this race as Messrs Terha and Chapman come out of turn 9 for the final time. It is the fact that it is going to be Eichmann's Grand Prix once again have a hot shot in their midst as Louis Peternot is making his way towards the final couple of corners, and the 837 is going to make it 2 for 2, and it will be the same for Campobello because they have both finished first and second respectively, but Peternot absolutely overjoyed with another victory. Toby Terha takes P3 behind Matteo Campobello. Harry Chapman in 4th. Great effort from the youngster from the United Kingdom. Bruce Chirino 5th. Bram Konings, Milan de Ruyt, Axel Leenders, Matthias Cavulea and Gilles Dual round out your top 10. Martin Cekin-Gomis, Kian Ten Hav, Mathis Lambrecht, Moussa Bera Akbaba and Artem Kikireshko round out the top 15. Great show of sportsmanship between Louis Peternot and Matteo Campobello, just fist bumping down the back straights on the Europalan. Great racing from the pair of them. It could have gone Campobello's way, but you know what? Still to come back from a spin at turn 1 and finish in 2nd position is not a bad shout. Vincent Oliver Rizzo, Lucas van der Heerde, Maxime Baal, Zia de Don, Arthur Jassogne. Round out your top 20. Matt Cooper, Noah Kim, Lasse van der Weyde, Victor Hadu. And looks like William Sitio has come across the line. We did not have any sector times for Lasse van der Weyde because of no functioning transponder. But at the moment, it is Louis Peternot that leads the way. Matteo Campobello, his nearest rival. Can Peternot make it 3 for 3 later on this afternoon?